Tails? Tails?
Yeah! Wow! We did it! It's done! We don't have to do it anymore! Wait, no, that's an incorrect statement. But what is a correct statement is hello, people of the earth. Welcome to the end of the March of the Dreamcast vlog, if you want to call it that. I am Ackieforest, your host, that's been taking you on a journey. For those of you that have never seen a Dreamcast before, I've shown you some of the great and fascinating games that came out for the machine, and for those that are familiar with the Dreamcast, I've been able to show you and take you down memory lane for Sega's final game console. Yay! And Sonic is very happy. Look at this smile. Get down there for a second. But yeah, like I've said, throughout the month and before it, any game that has been on display over the last month will be seen again at some point. But in order for me to tell you the ins and the outs, I need the great and powerful notepad of knowledge. And I have every game here written down, and we're going to break it down I'm going to talk about each game just vaguely, or for when it comes to what I just want to say about it. You know me. This is just a secret edition of Chatty Ackie. But I'm going to talk about every game, not in great detail, but enough about what I think of it, and generally speaking. I'm going to give a rating for each game out of 10. That's 5, but there we go, that's better. A rating out of 10 for each one, and then what I personally think maybe, and then a more professional evaluation, because I think every game that I've played this month is really good. But hey, every game has its flaws or problems or whatever. And also I will be addressing for each game whether it could be possibly a future Let's Play for the channel, or a Christmas comeback, or just a one-off video that I would do at the end of the year or whatever, an Ackie Plays edition. Yeah, but also let's address the elephant in the room. There's not an elephant over there, but I might as well look. There's an elephant in this room here. So, my adventure with uploading to YouTube. So, I've recorded every video in HD. I have saved and edited and put together what I needed to edit in HD, but YouTube, it would seem, didn't like the 4:3 screen that it's presented in this box, because for some reason YouTube will, and I've got evidence for this, YouTube will not put the video in HD if it's in the 4:3 box. But if you haven't watched the last game for the channel, which was, or the last game for the month I should say, that came out yesterday, which was Sonic Shuffle, that was all edited completely and saved, and I forced it into a 16:9 screen, which is more oblongish, and it uploaded to an HD format. So it's not my fault. I thought everything was going to be in HD, but I suggest that if you are still considering watching the month, or you haven't watched a lot of it yet, I would suggest not watching it in full screen. It looks better on a smaller scale when it comes to, because it only uploads it in 480p for some reason. But all the videos that I do Let's Plays of, or one-offs now from the month, will be in a 16:9 screen. The reason, you're probably saying, why didn't you do that with every video once you found out? Problem with that is, I had started putting videos together to make the month easier and go smoothly. I started saving them in advance, and I had saved about 7 or 8 videos before the month had even started, so I just had to stick with the quality and the theme, and actually it paid off on one of the videos. I think on one of the Sonic Adventure 2 videos, someone commented that it felt nostalgic that it was in the smaller box with the lower resolution. So if it works for you, then it works. It's like going back in time, and that's the whole idea of these March months that I do every year. Is we're going to feel like we're back in time, back before there was live streams and whatever. So yeah. Because I've done loads of these before. I've done what's called March of the Retros for all the newcomers here, which was basically all the old games from the early 90s, late 80s, mid 90s, maybe, sort of that kind of era. And then we did, last year, if you weren't here, we did March of the PlayStation, which was like lots of different games for the PlayStation, not as many as I would have liked. But this month I am very happy with either way how it turned out. Very chuffed, even if the resolution is at 480p. But every video that now comes out is going to be edited, and therefore I'm going to force into a 16:9 screen. So then it will upload in HD, and trust me, if you haven't seen Shuffle, it actually looks really nice. I mean, it looks really nice on just on my computer. I might share here a few screenshots from some of the games just to give you an idea that anything that was in motion went a little bit blurry. So I'm going to put pictures that would show motion on the screen, and you can see how clear it is when I've taken a screenshot of it directly from my computer, from the core file, let's call it. So yeah, so no more issues with video quality. Yeah, I was pretty pissed, I'm not gonna lie, that it was only gonna do that, and then I would have to be like, well, I got to do that for the whole month now. But hey, at least it's giving you a taste of what's to come. Because I plan to get at least every video that you've seen here out as either another one-off or a full let's play, and that's what we're about to discuss now. How we doing for time? What am I doing? Fine, Mr. Camera. Alright, we start off today with the first game that I played. I'm going to do them all in order that we came across. So we've got Sonic Adventure, the way it was supposed to be played. So yeah, I've said this before and I'll say it again, but it's the first game I got for the Dreamcast. It's the reason I bought one, and it's the first console I owned with my own money, and it's the first game I owned with my own money, so it's got a place here. It's a special thing, but bias aside, it is still a good Sonic game, and many people are still demanding for a remake of it of sorts that isn't Sonic 06. Just make it, you can improve it and just keep the physics and everything will be okay. I think the camera is a better one. So yeah, sorry, I lost my train of thought because the camera had to reset. But no, bias aside, it's a good game. I don't know why people dislike it. I think they dislike it because of the remake that came out for the GameCube and other things. The original is on the Dreamcast, and it's the much better version. Sounds better, looks better, plays better. You can tell because Sega were having jet lag from the Saturn, because there's no really big Sonic titles that came out for the Sega Saturn, so this was their next one in line, and they wanted to knock it out the park, and they did with Adventure, I feel, and they did with Adventure 2. But we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, I'm really happy that I got to play that. It's good fun. As for a rating, I'll give it 9 out of 10, because that's how good it is. Not a perfect 10, because still got big. Still got big. Oh, the rest of the game's fine. I don't mind it. As for a Let's Play or a Christmas comeback, I have put down, I'm going to actually do a full Let's Play. So I can, because I've got it all written down here, and I'll explain. So I've got I've got down a full Let's Play because I want to do it again from the beginning, if you know what I mean. So you can actually see it in the HD quality that you were supposed to see in the first place. But I can do it with editing and whatever now from this point on, and you'll get to see it in the quality that you're supposed to see it in as well. And we'll start again at the beginning from Sonic's story, because you know I want him to fall into the sand again. No, I'm just kidding. We want to see that in HD. But yeah, so I don't know when I will do these, but like I said, they can be any time down the line. But we already know the game that I'm going to be playing immediately. So it's all to come. Down the line. Look at down there. In that direction. You can see it in the distance. It's coming slowly to hit you in the face. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, full Let's Play. Probably sometime in the future. Or inevitably in the future. What am I saying? Can I English? Nope, I'm dyslexic. That's a different language in itself. Jet Set Radio! Fucking... I did better than I thought I would in that game. Because, yeah, I'm not afraid to admit that I'm shit at it. And at the end there, on the second part, we did slip a few times. You know, problems with helicopters and such. But I really do like Jet Set Radio. I repurchased it for the PlayStation 3, I think it came out on, and played it on there as well, and I was still shit at it. When it comes to the combo with the spray paints and whatever. But yeah, I love the visual style. Obviously, the Dreamcast was busy walking around the park going, ha, I can handle cell shading, bitch. Can you, PlayStation 2? No. Can you, GameCube? Yeah. Oh, well, you're not coming out for a couple of years. I got cell shading. What am I doing? But yeah, it's that game was definitely Sega's way of showing off, hey, cell shading, baby, get behind it. But it suits the game, I think, in terms of its style, and it's extremely Japanese, which is all good. As in terms for a rating on that one, 8 out of 10. Because I know a good game when I see it. I mean, it might not be everyone's cup of tea, because I will admit the controlling and handling sometimes is a little bit kind of, but it's fine for the most part. If you know what you're doing, you know what you're doing. If you get a grips with it, you can just get used to it. And unless you're me. So yeah, in terms of a let's play, I'll quite happily continue from where we left off and continue the story there. Unless you want me to start from the beginning again, but please don't ask me to do it from the beginning again, because I found out actually that I've overwritten the file that I saved the last time I played it, because it only saves one file. It's not like you have a choice like in Sonic Adventure. So yeah, I have to get back to the end again. But I don't mind doing that. Like I said, not much progress was lost because I never got to the end in the first place, and you don't technically save anything important per se, so it would be fun to go back through the game again. But if you want me to start from the beginning, then I will, or if you want me to actually carry on from the let's play, then I will down the line. What's next? Ooh, Crazy Taxi! Well, I had to play that, didn't I? Very good arcade game. Did play it in the arcades, and then I got it for the Dreamcast, and I was like, oh, things are gonna be good. Because I used to just play it vanilla all the time, just like casually, and I was having a good time with it. Until I got more professional about it, and then fucking got an awesome rating or whatever. And the crazy box, or the challenges, are kind of a very rewarding and fun too, in a certain sense. I might play a few of those. In terms of a rating though, lots of fun, so it definitely gets a 9 out of 10, with the only flaw being only 1 point off because the original track isn't as great as the arcade track. So but it's still a lot of laughs and a lot of fun, so I can't fault it at all. It's the perfect arcade experience kind of game. So very good and loads of fun, and I could play it for ages and have a good blast. As for a let's play or a Christmas comeback, I put down Christmas comeback because let's face it, I'm not doing a full let's play. So yeah, if ever you guys want me to do it for an end of the year video as a bonus or whatever, then just say, and we'll go and blast off again around the arcade course. No problem, and I'll do a few of the challenges on Crazy Box or whatever. We'll see what we can get up to there or whatever. Next game, Confidential Mission. And my camera running out again. Yeah, sorry. Confidential Mission, indeed. Probably not going to be big on this one, but it was fun to play it again. I don't think I played it for about 15 years. I played a demo of it on, I think it was a demo disc that you used to get with the official Dreamcast magazine. They used to come out with demo discs, you know, and I played it on there, and I was like, this is the perfect blend of like an arcade shooter and James Bond all rolled into one. And I'm actually a big James Bond fan. Like, I don't usually mention that a lot, but I do like it a lot, like the franchise. Not maybe the later movies, But certainly the classics. Can't mess with the classic Bond films. You know, I have a few of them over there. Or over here. I think I actually... Did I show you that I actually have... where is it? Yeah. On my Blu-ray here I have Octopussy. I must have seen that movie twice. Yeah, so good. Get back in there. Yeah, so it's the perfect combination for me in terms of that. And I forgot how easy it was to move the cursor around to shoot everybody. I would have put the difficulty up if I knew it was that bad, because the last time I probably played it, I probably put it down there just to have a bit of fun. So yeah, I should have put the difficulty up, but whatever. It is what it is. Well, seeing as I only got one part out of it, you can kiss the Let's Play and the Christmas Comeback goodbye. That's it. That's all you get. Although maybe I will do a Christmas Comeback of it or whatever, but with a slightly higher difficulty just to see. But it's a big if, or a big but even. I give it 6 out of 10 because yeah, it's a good quick blast, but it's not going to last you forever. But for what's there, it's actually really smooth. Like the gameplay is like really fluid, and the animations of everyone is really fluid, and it's just a good blast, and it's probably worthy better of being played with 2 players because you can't do that obviously. So yeah, it can be a bit of fun, but probably not a must-buy for the Dreamcast if you're interested. But if you like the look of it, then by all means. But it's not going to last you for very long. I'll play it in another 15 years. How about that, guys? Seeing as it took 15 years for me to play again. Ooh, vanishing points. Hello. So yeah, I'm glad I did buy. Hang on a minute. I do have the case for these games that I newly purchased, because for any person that's owned a Dreamcast, you know how hard it is to maintain the cases, because they look like this, and they're very flimsy. I'm not going to show you the boxes for the other games. See, even this one's coming apart already, and I bought this one. So there, I bought it in a shop. I just saw it on display and like, that would be a good emergency game. So I just bought it because it was cheap, you know. So yeah, and clearly it's cheap because the case is broken, but and the game otherwise is perfectly intact. See, look, it's fine. It's so lovely. It's so nice. But yeah, all the other games that I have for the Dreamcast I owned are either in a different case or are just in a plastic sleeve, you know. So yeah, I've got them as a collection. But yeah, Vanishing Point, I'm glad I've actually picked it up. I'm a big racing game enthusiast, and even some of the bad games I even like, and that's no exception. I will be trying to play it, but not for the channel. But it will get definitely a Christmas comeback or a end of year bonus video for sure, and I can show you, hey guys, look at all these fantastic cars that I never want to drive. I have unlocked them. And we can have a good little laugh or whatever, because yeah, it just breaks away the tradition of traditional racing games, but I still like it. I could play any racing game no matter what the condition was, because I just like it. I like driving cars around tracks. It's just a thing that I do, okay? It's a guilty pleasure I think this game would be worthy of. So, yeah, whatever. But to be fair, the rating for it I'm going to give is a 5 out of 10. Let's just halve it in half, because again, it's not there are much better racing games out there than that, I would acknowledge. So probably better to get something like Metropolis Street Racer, or Sega Rally, or there's a multitude of different games. Hell, I've even played another one that I would pick over Vanishing Point, which is Revolt. But yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. So yeah, it's half and half. You're either. I feel like Vanishing Point is either going to be you completely love it or you completely hate it. So because it's the handling and the way the game operates and everything, and it's going to force you to play all the cars. So yeah, you can't. It's not really truly a racing game experience worthy of a console, but we played it and I had a good fun with it. But yeah, that's all we're doing. As for the next game, which I do have a case of as well, because again, I bought it for this month, and it turned out to be a lovely disappointment. I've done a lot of research on Mr. Blue Stinger here. um, but apparently, so I'm recording in HD, and defaultly, the Dreamcast, when I'm plugging it in, goes to 50 hertz. You remember that thing is specifically for PAL regions, I think? So you get the choice out of 50 or 60 hertz resolution or whatever, but because it's in HD, it doesn't give you that option because it will display it. How do I put this? So the game will think it's in 50 hertz, but because it's in HD, it'll run like a 60 hertz game. So, because there won't be any slowdown on graphics or anything because it's blasting out in HD and resolution and everything. So that was the only 50 difference between 50 and 60. With 50 hertz, the game would look a little bit kind of run a bit slower and a little bit more to fit with most television screens over here. But some TVs, most of the TVs at that time over here ran in 60. So I had to reset the camera again. But yeah, most TVs did run in 60, but some games only specifically run in 60. So from what I gathered on looking up on the internet, the reason that it's actually breaking on that cutscene specifically is because this game was kind of more designed for a 60 hertz experience, like it will force it. Like I bought, remember Wind Waker for the GameCube? And it came with like another disc that you could play Ocarina of Time on and the Master Quest. But that would only run again, it would force it into 60 because it couldn't play it in 50 or whatever. So that's what's happened, I think, with this game. So I'm able to play it. I haven't tested it out yet because I haven't had time. But so yeah, I might be able to play this, but I won't be able to play it for the channel, unfortunately, unless I find a way to record off of the SCART cable. Where did I put it? Hold on a minute. I'm actually going to show it now. So here's the Dreamcast SCART cable, which will run in 50 and 60, or whatever. So there's a possibility that I could actually play it, but if I find a way to record off of this thing, because believe it or not, when I ages ago when I plugged this thing into the thing that I used to record, it's a bit of a convoluted setup because the SCART lead has to go into a box converter, and the converter goes and puts it into an HDMI cable. So it's like a SCART to HDMI connector, and then that will connect into the thing that I record with. So yeah. But for some reason the Dreamcast cancels it out. So I haven't been able to record off of it. But if I find another method or a solution to this problem, which is probably never going to happen, then you'll never see it. Because I was considering, seeing as it is a kind of horror-ish game so far, not that it's been that heavy because I haven't got that deep into it, but yeah, I might play it for a horror month sometime in the future if I can work out how to record from this thing. And of course, if it works, it still could just be a faulty disc, I don't know, but it looks okay to me. I mean, oh no, I'll let you be the judge. This case actually works. Yeah, look, that looks alright. See? It's fine. Nothing wrong with it. So I don't know. What I think that is just the issue. Is that is it? It won't work with the HDMI cable. Oh, whatever. So that's a bit of a disappointment. But if it works with the SCART cable, and it works because I have saved it, I haven't removed or deleted the file or anything, So I might be able to play it a bit more, and then I'll tell you what I think. But for now, I can't really give it a decent rating. But I'll give it a safe 7 out of 5. 7.5 out of 10. Sorry, for safety, because for what I did play, I did enjoy. I could tell I wanted to get all the way through because it reminded me of the old Resident Evil games. More specifically, because it came out for the Dreamcast as well, it reminded me a lot of Code Veronica. So yeah, which they need to remake, by the way. You know, they need to remake it. Yes, I have bought it. But yeah. They need to remake Code Veronica. But moving on. Yeah, I put Let's Play in a big question mark next to it because I'm like, Let's Play. So that's a possibility, but for now it's not. Anyway, moving on. Vigilante Second Offense is the next game. This is probably a select favourite because I know that they need to make more games like it. Though I feel like if anything, the isometric style I used to say was dying out, but now I'm finding a lot more games that actually do it or whatever or encompass it. They need to make more vehicle like shooting games or whatever you'd call this. Like they need to make more games where vehicle combat, we'll call it, because I do miss those kinds of games. If anyone knows of anything that's recently come out that's like a vehicle combat game, please shout it out. I would love to play it. But yeah, I feel like this is the best one in the series, the Second Offense one, which is what we played. The first one's good, what got me into the series, and then the rest were kind of like, they were okay. But this one's the best, I feel like, and I could still have fun with it. My rating for it is a 7 out of 10, which is a solid number. It's not like a must purchase for the Dreamcast, but I think the best version is for the Dreamcast because it did come out for other stuff. Because the Dreamcast at the time was the most powerful console of that generation, so, you know, because we're going up against the N64 and the PlayStation 2 here, and yeah, everything looks better on the Dreamcast for sure. In terms of visuals. Not that I'm a graphics whore, but you know, if I can get both, if I can get good gameplay and the visuals, then we're all dancing and partying. So yeah, Vigilante Second Offense was the best version on the Dreamcast for sure. In terms of a Let's Play and a Christmas comeback, I could do both. I did have a few ideas for the Let's Play, because I won't be doing the story mode, because it's just meh stuff. But we can mess around with more vehicles and more locations and whatever. And as for a Christmas comeback, I'll probably be doing the same. We'll do the survival mode or whatever. Just an endless supply of vehicles coming out to shoot me and see how long I can live for. So there's lots of ideas we can do with that. Moving on. Power Stone 2. Welcome to the Power Stone world. So yeah, 3D fighting sort of game that I definitely needed to be played for the channel because I know I spent oodles amount of time playing it myself on the Dreamcast and unlocking all because you can unlock weapons and you can acquire money from certain modes that you can spend in a shop to and then you can combine weapons to make new weapons. Like I said, that game, when it came to weapons that you could pick up, it's just like an endless supply. I mean, Borderlands, the Borderlands series, you know, the first person game, said, you know, it's like millions of different kinds of weapons, but I'm like, yeah, there are kind of millions of different types of weapons, but they all kind of feel very samey. With Power Stone, with the Power Stone series in general, every weapon that you pick up feels unique in some way, shape or form. There's like tons of different combinations and various things that you can get with the game. So loads of hours wasted, or I don't care, getting all of those different weapon recipes, and then unlocking all of the new weapons. This camera. So yeah, lots of hours wasted on that, or whatever. What was I saying? As for a rating, I give it 8 out of 10. I think it should be a much played and enjoyed game. Definitely with more players as well, though, because the AI just seems to be tad bit dumb sometimes. But it depends on the difficulty. It can get really hard if you turn it all the way up. I think it's got 8 difficulty settings, and if you put it on 8, prepare yourself for a ride, because they're very aggressive. At 7 or 6 I can usually survive with. I did turn it down for the Let's Play, so things did seem a little bit more easy. So yeah, it can get harder. But if you're looking for a good challenge and a good all-in-all experience and a twist on the fighting game, then that's your game. As for a Let's Play or a Christmas comeback, I can definitely do both. As for if I did a Let's Play, then we'd just be playing as all the characters, like in the original arcade mode or whatever, or one-on-ones and whatever. And if I do Christmas comebacks, then we'll just do the randomly selected mode from the original. And then I don't know which character I'm going to be. I don't mind doing that again, because like I said, I would play that game quite a bit, and I still would today. Sonic Adventure 2, last episode. Yeah, what was I going to say about that? So Sonic Adventure 2, I wouldn't say is for once I will not get to say the best version was on the Dreamcast, although obviously some of the visual aspects of it and the sound quality is a lot better for the Dreamcast on that aspect. But when they advertised a 2-player mode, I'm like, ooh, a 2-player mode, but it's kind of lackluster, to be honest, on the Dreamcast, which is why they put Battle on the one that came out afterwards on other consoles, because they put an emphasis on the 2-player mode. Like, you could choose 4 different characters for either the racing or the treasure hunts or the walker battles or whatever you want to call them. So yeah, I kind of like the 2-player more on other consoles that isn't the Dreamcast, because with the Dreamcast you just get either the good side character or the dark side character. So Knuckles or Rouge, or Sonic and Shadow, or Tails and Eggman, and that's about it. So yeah, less variety on that front, and also less levels as well. They put more levels and stuff into the battle that you can play on. I think there's only like 3 that you can play on for each. So yeah, it's kind of lackluster, but you can tell that they focused more on the main game when it came to the development cycle rather than the 2-player aspect, because the main game is the more important thing, let's face it. But so I would recommend the first player experience to be done on the Dreamcast, because the sound quality is better. You noticed that on the GameCube or on other versions of Sonic Adventure 2 that some lines sometimes get cut out, or characters are talking over each other. They don't do that as much on the Dreamcast, and they're a bit more clearer, like the sound has been balanced a bit better. So it's all a little bit better on that front, and I believe the visuals are just a little bit better when it comes to shading as well. So so that's my experience, but I am going to give this game a perfect 10 out of 10, because it took everything that Sonic Adventure was, which I've already given a 9, and just improved upon it, and took away Big, which is all good, and he now makes happy little cameos in there. That's the other thing they took out of the ones that came out after, is the Big seems to be in less locations. Like, he's in more locations on the Dreamcast version, and it's quite more, whatever. It's kind of fun when you do see him though. It's like a little Easter egg thing. But yeah, it's just a really good Sonic game. Remake that one too. As for a Let's Play or a Christmas comeback, full Let's Play. Let's start from the beginning, go all the way through the good side, and then the dark side, and then the last story, and we'll just all in HD this time. But again, that will be somewhere down the line. Don't mind doing that again at all. I like that game that much. Crazy Taxi 2 is not as favourable as the first one for me personally. But yeah, it's still a good time, I will acknowledge, because they kept more or less the physics more or less the same-ish, but Again, I had a lot of frustrations with the arrow at the top. It just wanted to make up its own mind and misdirect me and whatever. I feel like the time limits are more strict for passenger times of pick up and drop off. So yeah, but I do like the concept of picking up groups of people, and I do like the idea of the having the stupid vehicles. I do like the bike. But yeah, and you've got more characters to unlock and play as, and there's more challenges on it. I think it's called Crazy Pyramid this time, and it's a pyramid of challenges. Whatever. I forget which one has the pyramid and which one has the box, but I think the original has the box, and then the Crazy Taxi 2 has the pyramid, which has more stupidly ridiculous challenges to have fun on. So we may do that at some point. As for a rating for this game, like I said, it's not as big as the original. I'm just going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. Because it does have its major issues for gameplay that can drive you around the bend. And I don't agree with all the voices. With all the sound and everything. Like I said, when you're trying to, it's the Matt Groening philosophy. If you make it sound like more real or whatever, it sounds more funny than someone trying to sound funny and saying funny things. Whereas if the guy from the original Crazy Taxi, what are you, stupid? Can't you be more careful? Hey, you're going the wrong way. It's more funny. Whereas in Crazy Taxi 2, it's like, what are you doing? I'm trying to be funny. You're not. Fuck off. So yeah, the voice, but it's just that voice specifically, I think, that drives me nuts. And also we've got Cream the Rabbit, and be more careful. You could kill somebody. And yes, I can do that voice. Although it probably plays hell on my vocal cords. Let me just grab my balls and pull them back down again. Okay, there we go. What is next? So yeah, well, I am willing to play it as a Christmas comeback though. I will do it as a Christmas comeback. Oh my god, this camera. So yeah, I am willing to do a Christmas comeback if you really, 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 really want. But yeah, we'll see. There's a lot of cool concepts that I still like in the game, but yeah, it's the delivery of it. I think the location is not the best. I do like the fact you can jump. I didn't use it enough, probably. That was my problem. Oh well, that's just me. Next up, WWF Royal Rumble. There was a thing that no one was expecting out of me, because I predicted the next game I would be playing in terms of wrestling would be AEW Fight Forever. But it isn't out yet. And I was planning to be playing it, after this month, but there we go. It's not yet, but I'm a patient man and I can wait, so I don't care. But either way, I've got other wrestling games that were made way back when to amuse me before that one comes out, so I'm fine. You can struggle with your 2K games that haven't changed for the last 15 years. Things will be... I could go on an individual rant about AEW Fight Forever, but I will not. I will refrain for now, for another time. But yeah, Royal Rumble, I thoroughly enjoyed as a wrestling game back then, but I do know why people don't like it. It does have its flaws, but if you want a quick wrestling blast, this is it. And also the whole unique concept of having partners at ringside to do certain things in the match. And also just the Royal Rumble mode itself is just the absolute funnest game mode I've ever played in a wrestling game. Like, it is just ridiculously fun. They've really nailed how authentic the Royal Rumble match should be, because I feel like they still haven't matched the feeling of a Royal Rumble in any video game other than this one. It just really feels like you're in a Royal Rumble, and just going around and you gotta watch out for everyone. It's just really good, fun, action-paced game, and still holds the record for having the most people possible in a ring in a mainstream game that isn't an indie game. Hey! Because because there is an indie game out there that you can have like 30 people in the ring at once, but no thank you please. But 9 is enough, and I'm not usually a big fan of multi-person matches in wrestling games per se, but it works for this game for sure. They nailed it, and I'm very glad because they can have 9 people maximum in the ring, which is nuts. I give it a 7 out of 10 for a rating because it's not the best wrestling game that you can get compared to what's out there or what was out there back in the day, but it's still pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. You know, and the exhibition mode isn't that bad. You can have 4 players, you know, just duking it out. If you have 4 people, it's good couch play, and they all have partners, so they can, like, so much craziness can be going on. So if you like fast-paced wrestling nonsense, Royal Rumble is the game for you. Very, very fun. In terms of me doing a Let's Play or a Christmas comeback, for sure it can be a Christmas comeback, and we're going to do the Endless Rumble, and I've got to eliminate 75 people somehow. I'm going to do the Endless Rumble. I mean, this might be a definite thing that I do at the end of the year, but we'll see what else I have, because obviously I haven't planned that far ahead. Revolt. Yes. I'm glad I was able to finally play this game for a while. I haven't played it in eons, but I have fond memories of it, and they all came flooding back the minute I started playing it again. And I might make more custom tracks to play around with on if I did do anything to do with the channel with it. You could maybe give me some ideas for track ideas, and I could make them, and we can see them and have a bit of fun. But in terms of me playing it for the channel, definitely another Christmas comeback deal there. As for a rating, I give Revolt, it's not Micro Machines, but it's an 8 out of 10 for me. It's very good. And I need to unlock more vehicles. We'll see what happens if I do play it again on the on-off chance. But yeah, that's all I got to say about Revolt. It's just a really good racing game, and yeah, for a console that didn't have a Micro Machines game, because one came out for the PlayStation 2. I know one came out for the PlayStation 2 because I played it. You know, so it was good enough. I'm fine with it. The locations are a bit questionable, but hey, because with Micro Machines you're just racing around on tables and stuff, whereas in Revolt you got full open locations on rooftops and through museums and whatever, on boats. So it's kind of unique on that front. So yeah, great stuff. Worms World Party. Yeah, this was I think I said on the Let's Play itself that this was a game that I wasted a lot of time on playing online, which is what you did on the Dreamcast. That was one of the first consoles to do it, and definitely played it online. It's still got the option there, but I don't think we'll be able to play online anymore if the option was there. But yeah, just have a lot of fun playing online with the different modes and whatever. Being strategic with my worms and trying to take out the opposing team. Just a lot of fun. You can name your own teams to be stupid, like we did. Yeah, Worms World Party, a lot of fun. Very fun game in a very fun series. I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10 because it might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I would definitely say look into it if you're into strategic gameplay that's humorous and funny and ridiculous. So it's a bit of both. It's like you have to play serious in order to win, but at the same time it presents itself as being particularly goofy. It's a nice blend, and it works for some reason. It's along the same lines of, I believe, in terms of a real-time strategy game, if anything, I would call it, you know, it's in the same vein as the Command & Conquer Red Alert series, where the Red Alert series never completely took itself seriously and had silly characters in it, you know, like, what's his name, Yuri, who was psychic and could use his brain for take over people's minds and operate them on the battlefield or whatever. Just a lot of goofy characters and a lot of fun. But you have to play it seriously, but it presents itself in a non-kind of serious way. So I put it in the same book as that. In terms of a Let's Play or a Christmas comeback, I can do both. We can do a Let's Play of it. I can do more. We can literally do every single different weapon variety of choice in the entire game. I don't mind doing that. And seeing all the different locations that are pre-made. And then for Christmas comeback, we can just have a quick blast or whatever. Is there a snow biome that you can pick randomly? I think there might be. There should be in the game. Because that would be fitting for Christmas. We can have a snow biome to play on or whatever. And I can have a bit of fun and make it some Christmas teams. I don't know. That's all up for debate. Next up, it's Super Magnetic Neo, which is a game that I haven't played for the channel, so here he is. Da 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 da. You see that? I don't know. I'm glad I purchased that. I'm enjoying the platforming element of it, and hey, it didn't need a wall jump to be good, but it has another interesting mechanic that takes a little bit of getting used to learn, but it's a bit of fun either way, and I love the character designs and everything. The boss battles are something to be desired, but they're enjoyable and durable, and then the levels have a decent amount and a level of challenge for me when it comes to platform games, so I don't mind it, and I'm glad I bought it specifically for this month. Otherwise I would have never played it, and that would have been a tremendous shame. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Like, it's not the most perfect game and a must-buy for a Dreamcast, but if you like your platform games and have a little twist with it, the whole magnetic aspect, then definitely look into it. It's a lot of fun, at least from what I've played so far. In terms of me playing more of it for the channel, I will do either a Let's Play, so we'll continue on from where I left off last time for playing it on this month, or we'll do a full Let's Play. I'll restart and go back from the beginning and go all the way through so you can see it in glorious HD like you were supposed to. I don't mind at all. It depends on how long I have to wait before I do play it as a Let's Play, but I will definitely play it as a Let's Play, because I want to play more already. So yeah, but we'll see. If it takes a while for me to get around to a Let's Play of it, I'll start back from the beginning. But otherwise, we'll kick off from where I left off, and I don't mind that at all, because I think we ended off on a new world. So that's all good. Alright, 2 games left, and then I can end this, because I got more to do today. Soul Calibur, yeah. Love the fighting game series. Like I said, I didn't play the original Soul Calibur, this one that I played this one, as much as I have played the second game in the series and also the 5th game in the series. I played those 2 quite a bit. 3 was okay, and then 4 I kind of felt like they were missing a step. I don't know, they changed a lot of the movesets around, I feel, for some of the characters, and it kind of felt a bit weird and a bit off. For me, it wasn't the same gameplay that I'm used to that I was from the first 3. But then 5 returns with normal movesets that I'm familiar with, and you know, although I think a lot of people bash number 5, and I've never played 6, and I did mention that on the Let's Play itself that there's quite a possibility, and I have officially today, before I recorded this, actually bought Soul Calibur 6. Because I haven't been keeping up with it, but that is the latest game in the series, and I could possibly live stream that at some point, the Soul Calibur 6. I've never played it yet, but I'm hoping it's good enough. But if 5 was anything to go by, then I'll be okay with this one, because I'd love to, now that I've played the original and shown you, I'd love to say here's the latest one in the series and look how much it's progressed, because it's been pretty good throughout the whole series, more or less. But 4, I'm not the biggest fan of them, I will say. Out of all of them, I will say don't play that one. But yeah, I give it an 8.5 out of 10 for a fighting game. It's really good. You feel under control for all of your moves. You know, it's really fluent and easy to pick up and like hard to master. I class it as like almost a Smash Brothers kind of ordeal. Like all of the commands are in one button, and depending on how you move and what button you push at some point, will depending on what move you do, but it all relates, and you can easily pick it all up so that you can do some quite fancy moves. From the early going, like after like half an hour's worth of gameplay, you like start to get into a groove of sorts, and then you find, and that's more or less with every character as well. Especially fucking Maxi. God dang it, he needs to just stop and calm the fuck down. In terms of a let's play or a Christmas comeback, it's probably just worthy of a Christmas comeback, like as a one-off, and I'll play some more with some more characters and whatnot. I may play some more of it off cam just to see if I can get any more characters, because I know I haven't unlocked all of them way back when, and I know I've definitely unlocked everyone on Soul Calibur 2 and 5. So yeah, so and it's not that bad. It does remind me a lot of Soul Calibur 2 in terms of visuals and in terms of presentation and controls. So yeah, I'm fine with doing that again as a one-off or whatever somewhere down the line. And of course the big finale, the game that is definitely going to be fully let's played. We got a taste of it. I'm saving the last part now as we speak. It's busy saving so that I can upload it later for you to watch, and it's already up by now, so yeah. Just to know where things are. But yeah, Sonic Shuffle. But it had to be a game that I was going to do a full let's play of, because like I said, I've practically played every other Sonic game from yesteryear, let's call it, for the channel, more or less, that's could be classed as mainstream enough. So might as well do one of this, because I do enjoy it. It is another guilty pleasure, because I'm willing to put up with the endurance of facing 3AI, and no matter how many times they beat me on every board, let's call it, I'm determined to get to the end. This is another Sonic game that has the Sonic Spinball syndrome. I've only completed it like twice, I think, in the times of me playing it, because I played through the game once with Tails and I played through the game once with Sonic, and I haven't actually played through the game with the other characters, but that could be a thing, depends on how fast, because because we are going to do a full let's play of this starting whenever I start let's plays again. More on that information. I'm going to be making another vlog for tomorrow to tell you what's going on in terms of everything else. So so look forward to that, by the way. But yeah, when we get let's playing, we'll be kicking off with the story mode on Sonic Shuffle, and it depends on how things go, how quick they go or how slow they go. I may play as two characters. I don't know. Obviously, I'll be starting the first one as Tails, and then I don't know who else to play as afterwards. I don't know. We could do a playthrough as Amy or something. I don't know. All up for debate. But yeah, this one's definitely going to be a let's play, and I give it a 7.5 out of 10 because it is a good game and can be enjoyed by friends, but maybe not solo. But I'm willing to endure it for you guys. I don't mind at all. We can have a lot of fun and a bit of a blast, and it's a Sonic party game, so party. But yeah, guilty pleasure, definitely, for sure. Well, that's your lot. Come here. Go away. There you go. Sonic's happy. Tails is happy. Eggman's happy. Yeah. Amy's happy. We're all happy. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of the whole month and what you're looking forward to in the future. Like I said, there will be another vlog coming out tomorrow about what's going on and when and where, although probably where will be on this channel. I mean, I'm not going anywhere else. So yes, there'll be another vlog to give you the scoop on what's going on. I can't divulge in it now because I've probably been talking for about an hour. It feels like it. So yeah. Goodbye. Now you come back. You're too fluffy. He's so fluffy. Either way, I'm gonna thank you all for watching. This has been March the Dreamcast, and I'm glad I've finally been able to do it and play Dreamcast games, just in general, because that's what I was hoping from the get-go of playing. I'm starting my Let's Play life on YouTube, let's say, that I could record from the Dreamcast, but a lot of complications came up and I couldn't, but finally I have the answer. I have the new computer to thank, because if I couldn't record in HD, like I couldn't record in that quality, then there was no way I was going to be able to record from the Dreamcast store. So definitely the new computer has benefited and given me lots of benefits for a lot of different reasons, and now this is another one. So can you see him down there? He's here. So yeah. But that was March the Dreamcast, and it's done. And now we're back to traditional Let's Plays and videos to be uploaded. But I'll tell you all about that tomorrow in another vlog. But I'll see you however and whenever. Good day and goodbye. We're done.